Hi, my name is Christoph from CBR Technology. We are California-based Intuit QuickBooks Enterprise reseller and consultant. Today I'd like to talk through a few issues surrounding updates and upgrades for the QuickBooks Enterprise environment. We get a fair amount of service requests from QuickBooks clients that have trouble with corrupted data and incorrect reports. We frequently get questions about what causes data corruption and what causes issues in the system. And in response to that, we wanted to go over a few key issues that we wanted to share with you as our clients. Now, in QuickBooks itself, you have the ability to press the F2 key on your keyboard, which will open up this product information page. This happens to be a screenshot for the 2019 product, and all of the versions in the last 8 or so years look virtually identical to this page. Again, this was by pressing F2 within the QuickBooks company file that you currently have open. In addition to data about the file size itself, you'll see also the version and release number. So less commonly known fact about QuickBooks is that in addition to a version, which in this case is 19, you also have a release. And a release is updated by Intuit much more frequently than the version itself. So versions only come out about once a year, but releases are pushed out in some instances weekly, in some other instances every 3 to 6 weeks. When they do get pushed out by Intuit, most users get a little pop-up window that says there's a new version or the new update is available from QuickBooks. Would you like to load it? In a multi-user QuickBooks environment, you have to make sure you say no to that and train your entire team to always say no to that. The reason why is you need to coordinate with your IT team the installation of this release on not just the workstation but also the server. So it's critical that both the server and the workstations are updated at the same time, and this is typically handled by your IT team. If you don't have an IT team, feel free to reach out to us. 855-227-0700. We'll be happy to assist you with IT related services. Now, in addition to the version and the release that you see here, you also see information about file size and page sizes and number of records and some key tables on the list information section of this page. You want to look through this and look how large a data file is. So QuickBooks does not really have the ability to archive data for unused years, and we have a number of clients who've used QuickBooks for many years happily, and their file sizes are quite large. And as the system never purges data out of the company file, you are left with an accumulation of detailed records for your entire company for years and years depending on how long you've used the system. The only real way to resolve that, clearing out that file size and getting to a smaller size, is by creating a new company file. So a new company file is essentially a new database that starts from scratch. And we always and frequently provide services for our clients that create a new company file, and the process of which includes the transfer of master records and open transactions from the old QuickBooks file into the new QuickBooks file. So this would be chart of accounts, customers, vendors, items, and of course all the setup tables, and then open AR, open AP, inventory, stock status, as well as GL balances and bank balances. And so we do that frequently, and as a result of that, we typically do it over a weekend or a long weekend, and you keep the old company file for historic cross-reference purposes, but you start with a new company file in order to get a fresh, clean start with non-corrupted data and with a small data file that performs much more quickly than your old file would. Now, in addition to this product information page, again, which you accessed by hitting F2, you also can go to the update option section. So the updates are done in the through QuickBooks itself under Help. So when you navigate in QuickBooks, you go to the Help, Get QuickBooks Updates function, and you get to this window. Pressing this blue button that you see here will check with the Intuit servers to see if any updates are needed and installed. Again, I cannot stress the importance of not doing this independently from other users on your multi-user environment. If you're in a single user environment, you can do this anytime you want to and nobody cares. If you do it in a multi-user environment, it is critical that you do it in a coordinated fashion with all the users and the server as well. So it's not just workstation specific, it's also on the server. Now, as far as data corruptions that we have seen over the years and what caused them, this is kind of a checklist we have compiled for reasons we have found this to be the case. Now, keep in mind that QuickBooks is a thick client. So thick client means that all the processing of the data is done on the local workstation, and then the workstation updates the records and pushes them back to the server. This is not a thin client model where the server does all of the heavy processing. It's done by the workstation. As a result of that architecture, the workstation status and the workstation health is critical in maintaining a non-corrupted data file in Intuit QuickBooks. So the most common thing we find is that people use laptops and other workstations to work on QuickBooks, and that can cause major issues if they're on a Wi-Fi connection and they're not hardwired into the system. And the reason why is because Wi-Fi has two problems. It has latency and it has drop-off issues. So both of these will cause a temporary disconnection of your workstation to the network. And the result of that is because you're in a thick client environment, you can corrupt your data quite quickly and quite easily. So stay away from running any of your QuickBooks workstations on Wi-Fi. The other thing that we actually just fairly recently learned, and it's not well documented on the Intuit blogs and websites out there, is that Intuit also seems to have an issue when the workstations that are running QuickBooks are on different versions of Windows. So what I mean by that is Windows 7 versus Windows 10, for example, or the upcoming releases of Windows. So you need to make sure that your workstations are all on the same version of Windows. Now, the release or the patching status of those Windows workstations is not as critical, but the version definitely is. So if you have, let's say, 5 workstations running QuickBooks and 2 on Windows 7 and 10 Windows 10, 7, and then 3 others on Windows 10, you can definitely find issues with that and experience data corruption. The number 3 point I've already mentioned before, the server and the workstations have to run the exact same release and version of QuickBooks. If there's a discrepancy there, you will see data corruption. And then the other thing we recommend highly is for about $100 a piece, you can get a UPS or an uninterruptible power supply, which provides power to the workstation in case of brownout or blackout. And we've also had a number of experiences where this is an issue. Please, again, feel free to reach out to us. We're California-based Intuit partner, QuickBooks certified at 855-227-0700. If you do have data corruption, 99% of the time you have to build a new company file. And again, we'll be happy to assist you in that process. Give us a call and let us know if there's anything we can help you with. Thanks for your time.